Good morning students, and welcome to video number 2 on the chapter polynomials. In this video we are going to discuss one question. Find the zeros of the polynomial and verify the relationship between the zeros on the coefficient of this particular polynomial. Now here we can see in this particular question the degree of the variable x is 2. So this is a quadratic polynomial. So we can assume let p of x is equal to 6x square minus 3 minus 7x. If you observe very carefully this particular quadratic polynomial, we can see that the term x is written in the last position and the constant term is written in the second position. So we can do one thing, we can write this as px is equal to 6x square minus 7x minus 3. Our next step is to find out the zeros, because we have to verify the relationship between the zeros and the coefficient of this particular polynomial. So what we are going to do to find out zeros, we are going to equate it equal to 0. So definitely we will do like this. To find zeros, we can assume, you can let p of x is equal to 0. Remember, whenever you have to find out the zeros of any polynomial, we have to equate it equal to 0 and you have to solve it. So therefore this becomes 6x square minus 7x minus 3 is equal to 0. Now this is a quadratic equation. This has become a quadratic equation in x, and now we have three methods: factorization, quadratic, completing the square, and the quadratic formula. Now it is up to your choice. Whichever method you want, you can solve. We can use to find out the zeros, of this quadratic polynomial. In this case, we are going to in my case I am going to use the method factorization. We can see that the coefficient of x square is not 1; it is other than 1. So we are going to multiply this with the last term, and we are going to get the factors for 18. 6 into 3 is equal to 18, and since it is negative and the middle term is negative, therefore one term will be negative and one term will be positive. The factors of this 18 are 9 2s are 6 3s are. Now 6 3s are 6 into 3 is equal to 18 is not possible, because we want one middle term, that is minus 7, and it can be possible only by taking the two factors 9 and 2. Now since the middle number, that is 7, is a negative number, so what we can do, we can take this as negative and we can take this as positive. So therefore this particular quadratic equation becomes 6x square minus 9x plus 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. As we have discussed before, the first term remain as it is, the constant term remain as it is, only the middle term has to be splitted in terms of 9 minus 9 and plus 2. So if you take the first and second term, in that you can say 3x is common, and if you are taking 3x common, inside the bracket is x and minus 2, it is 2x minus 3. And similarly, if you are taking the next two term, in this you can see it is already 2x minus 3, and therefore we don't have anything to take common. So when we don't have anything to take common, we should always take 1 as common. So you are taking 1 as common, and inside the bracket you will get 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. Now therefore the factors of this is 3x plus 1 into 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. So one term will be 2x minus 3 and other factor will be 3x plus 1. So therefore 3x plus 1 and 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. That means 3x plus 1 is equal to 0, or 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. This indicates that x is equal 3x is equal to minus 1, or here you can indicate as 2x is equal to 3, and therefore here x is equal to minus 1 by 3, and here x is equal to 3 by 2. So the values of x are minus 1 by 3 and 3 by 2. Therefore, we are getting the two values of x. Now, these two values of x are nothing but the zeros of this quadratic polynomial, and therefore we can take one value as alpha and you are taking one value as beta. If you want, you can take as alpha, you can take this as beta. Anything you can take. So I will take the first value of x as alpha is minus 1 by 3, and I will take the second value of second value of x as beta, and that is equal to 3 by 2. In this way, we can find out the zeros of the polynomial. So what we will do to find out the zeros of the polynomial? We have to equate that polynomial equal to 0. Now, since it is a quadratic polynomial, you can use any of the three methods known to you. The best one is a quadratic formula always. Directly take the value of a, b and c, put in the formula and get the answer. But here I have used the method of factorization, and if you want to use the method of factorization, if the